What's good? What's good, homies? It's your man King Ray Ray representing once again. What's happening with y'all, man? D Flemings, what's good, bro? All right, Banks Country Cuz, what's happening? Zuko, what up, homie? Let me get over here in the YouTube chat right quick, man, so we can get ready to do what we do. Appreciate y'all joining me again, man. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up as you come in. Let's stay on our mission of building the King Ray Ray platform up to what it needs to be. Appreciate everybody coming through. Matter of fact, let me get a little bit more serious with this. Let me change to the platform, to the King Ray Ray joint, man. That's what's happening. I'm not in the King Ray Ray joint. All right, so here's what we're going to do, man. I want y'all to understand, man, and be aware of the fact that the odds are stacked against us as men. Always has been, always will be in this particular society. But what does that mean? That means that we have to protect ourselves. And one way to protect ourselves is to protect ourselves from being victims of our own lust. That's one of the major things that we can do for ourselves as men. Protect ourselves from our own lust. And how do we do that? What does that entail? What does that look like? It looks like us understanding that the main thing we have to understand is that the sex we chase after does not have the amount of value that we place on it. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the validity and value that we put on sex as men. And we're going to break down why it doesn't have the value that we give to it. Because yes, man, yes, sex is amazing. Sex is amazing the first time. After that, it's just something we're doing. It's only amazing the first time. It's only off the chain that first time you get to push up into that new box. That is the only time it is amazing. The second time with that very woman, it is not amazing anymore. So hence we have to go to the next woman to get that amazing feeling. And then we have to go to the next woman to get that amazing feeling. And before you know it, you are cycling through 10, 15, even 20 women sometime. You're like a crackhead searching for that first high. But let me tell you something. Even if you're talking about the different women, there is no sex like the first time you had sex, brothers. That first sex that you chase that feeling forever, like a crackhead chasing that high. But not only that, we're going to get into why and how the grip plies are only tight the first time. The loving is only amazing the first time. And that's the reality of it. Salute to the homie Action Jackson, Zuko, J4 Films is in the building. Rico the Rich is in the building. Cade 410 is on deck. We have to keep in mind I've got to replace my mic, man. But in the meantime, we're going to keep rocking how we rocking. See, the main thing is this, man. When you're being controlled by lust, you are outside of your proper frame of mind. You are outside of the necessary thought process that you need to be on top of your game, to capitalize on the things you need to capitalize on. Because when you're in a sex-driven mind state, you're not in a mind state at all. You are in a body state. You are in a physical state. And we all know that the best way, the easiest way to control a man is to control him physically. That way, you can lock a man up and handcuff him, and you can torture him for a while, and it'll take you some time to break his mind, but you already got his body controlled, under control. You can have a woman who will submit to you sexually and do all kinds of things that you ain't never thought of, probably. But that same woman will not submit her mind to you. She will not submit her soul to you. You have to understand, man, that physicality is the weakest state that a man can be in. Your physicality is your weakest stronghold. There's a spider that can bite you and kill you physically. Some people get stung by a bee and die. So when you look at your physicality and look at it controlling your life, especially when it comes to pleasure, it is better for you to be a facetious, materialistic, freaking shallow individual who focuses on building your body or making your body look better, or even a woman who goes and get a bunch of plastic surgeries. At least with those things, you actually have some internal validation that you attain from whatever you're doing to yourself. Sex is just a physical feeling, man. It's just a physical feeling. There's nothing else to it. It is a physical feeling, and then there's nothing else. You can't build anything off it. You can't get anything from it. It gives you no power. It gives you no control. It gives you no money. It gives you no spiritual foundation. It gives you no moral compass. It gives you no nothing. I don't care. They say sex is a great form of cardio. Find me the man who got fit from having sex. It ain't that good a damn form of cardio. You see, you got to understand this. As men, we always talk about the thrill of the chase. Yes, there's a thrill of the chase. But the thrill of the chase is offset by her thrill of being caught. She has a thrill of being captured. She doesn't mind being chased by as many men as possible, but there is a man that she wants to capture her. And while there are several men chasing her that she is fleeing and trying not to get caught by, the man she wants to capture her, she pretty much just goes and jumps in his net. All he got to see, every other man has to chase her and hunt and stalk her and try to catch up with her. And this man right here, all he does is put his net out, man, and goes take care of his business, come back, and she's stuck in his net. But 9 times out of 10, you aren't that man with the woman that you're having sex with. Let's just keep it a buck. Most men aren't that man with the woman they're having sex with. They finally wear her down and pay her enough and trick off on her enough and validate her enough and give her enough time, effort, and energy and resources where she finally says, okay, now you've earned some. And then it's probably not going to be that buck wild freaky stuff that men love so much. The thrill of the chase versus her thrill of being caught. And her thrill of being caught eliminates the thrill of the chase for the man she wants to get caught by. See, the thrill of the chase thing is for men who don't just get to put their net out, and the woman just jumps in the net like she don't even know it's there. Those men are used to having to pursue and chase and coddle and grovel and do a whole bunch of those other things just to get some sex. You see, her value is in her panties. Now, a lot of women don't want to respect that and accept that, but her value is certainly in her panties. The less value she has in her panties, the less value she has overall. Unless she can convince you to value these other things, to value her education or her ability to get resources, or her whatever else she has going on, her career, or whatever else she has going on outside of her panties. Because if her value is outside of her panties, then she is not any woman that you should be trying to be in anything with, not even a sexual relationship. You see what I'm saying? A sexual relationship should be pleasing to a man. And by pleasing, I don't mean it's okay that it don't turn you off. I mean, it should be pleasing to a man. Think about what pleases you. Think about what being pleased feel like. Every man should have that experience of being pleased by a woman. I'm not talking about finding pleasure in having sex with her. I'm talking about being pleased by her, being serviced by her. Every man should experience that. Because it is not a man's job to service a woman. Her value is in her panties. Her SMV is in her panties. Her lack of SMV is in her panties. Her Harvey Wallbanger credentials are in her panties. Everything that she represents that is positive to a man starts from in her panties, man. That's just the reality of what we're doing and how we're living and where we are in this society. That's always been the reality of it. The problem is now, let me tell you what men have done now. You see, we have given women the easy way out. We have become so weak that we have placed value on the pleasure that all vaginas provide. All vaginas provide this pleasure. If they're wet, warm, and tight, they provide this pleasure. All of them. It doesn't matter what age or what color, what creed, what anything. If it's wet, warm, and tight, it provides the exact same pleasure. They all can do that. So we replace the true value with that value. Now, what's the true value? What's the true value? The only true value is being able to say, I'm the first one to get that. Now, I want you men to think, how many times in your life, think about all the women you've been engaged with sexually. How many of those women can you honestly say you were the first one who got it? That's the value. That's what I mean when I say it's only amazing the first time. Yeah, it feels good every other time. It can get you off every other time. It can give you pleasure every other time. Hell, it can keep you coming back every other time. But amazing is an experience that you don't get any other time. It is that once in a lifetime experience, or that twice in a lifetime experience. That's what amazing is. Amazing isn't something that feels good. Amazing is a different experience. It's a much deeper experience than that. It's an experience that encompasses you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And the only woman who can do that is a woman who hasn't been penetrated by another man before. Everything else is way beneath that. Everything else is way beneath that. The reality of the scenario is this. Wives should be virgins, at the very least. Only one man in. I've never seen any provision for any woman being more than one man in. There is a law for a man who meets a woman who has already had a husband and he takes her, then he don't want her. She can't go back to her. She can't go back to her first husband because she's defiled. Other than that, I've never heard mention of a woman who's had more than that. 3 husbands, 4 husbands, 5. And when they talk about husbands, see, we got to understand this. If she doesn't value her sex, how can you value it? If she valued it, she'd keep it to herself. Giving it away to any and everybody or giving away to multiple suitors does not place value on it. It actually devalues it. So it has no value. It's only amazing the first time. After that, it don't matter who you are. If you didn't get it the first time, it is not amazing to you. It is a mental thing. Let me tell you something about sex that you think is amazing. 9 times out of 10 is with a woman that you surprised you got, or you happy that you got, or you get some validation from getting that particular woman. And that's the reality of it, man. See, once the novelty of sex wears off, then you got to deal with the reality of a woman's energy. And if this isn't her first time, if you're not her first rodeo, then her energy is off. She has the energy of the men who preceded you on her and in her. She has whatever ideals that she has bought into, infiltrating her energy as well. Once the novelty of sex wears off, you got to deal with the woman. And you know when the novelty wears off? The first time. A few years back, man, really on his first album, been quite a few years. Young Jock had a song with Marcus Houston and Trey Songz. And it was called Ain't Nothing Like the First Time. And that's the reality of it. Ain't nothing like the first time. And let me tell you something. The first time with any woman is good. But it's only amazing the first time. Amazing now. The first time. If you're the first time. You see what I'm saying? Sex is always better when you have an opportunity to miss it. But how much better is sex when everybody has missed it? No one has had an opportunity to infiltrate yet. Now let's think about the reality of that. What's the likelihood that in this particular society that's over-sexualized and everybody's being accepted for whatever sexual preference they have, and there are new labels being put on sexual preferences that don't even have a definition? When people say, you know, the new term for trisexual is pansexual. So you have to understand that we live in a society where sex has no value. It is just a pastime. It is a hobby. It is something to do for entertainment. So you can't place any value on it, because not only has it been touched and defiled by other men, but it will continue to be touched and defiled by other men. At no point do these women, especially younger women, understand the value that they possess between their legs, the power of the panties. Is something that if women capitalized on it, they will be happier, and so would men. Hell, you got a chick, man. I think I talked about this before, man. But she sold her virginity for $250,000. For $250,000, bro, she sold her virginity. I figured she should at least been shooting for $2 million. She took $250,000. I mean, not $500,000. Now $250,000. She took $250,000. She took $250,000, man, for her virginity. But I can't knock her. We look at that and say we can't knock her because a lot of these women out here get their virginity away for free. You ever met a woman, man, who been with a dude and she got a baby by him, and you know he took her virginity and she gave him her virginity and all that blah blah blah, and you just think about it, man, and you look at it and you say, well, damn, you mean tell me you waste your time giving your virginity to that dude? And this ain't even, I don't even know the dude, but it just, that's the thing. They waste their virginity. Or you, I know some women gonna listen. You waste your virginity on a man that you know you're not gonna be. Let me tell y'all something right now. If you can't see yourself having a child with somebody, or see yourself being a wife or a husband to somebody, you shouldn't have sex with that person. You shouldn't. You shouldn't have sex with a person you can't see yourself with long term in some capacity. You simply can't do it. It makes no sense to even attempt to do it. See, when you're in this mindset as a man, you either cycle through as many women as possible because you're a slave to pleasure, or you man up for once and think with your big head and not your little head. For once, you got to man up and think with the right head, man. I'm telling you, brothers. And another thing, if you are a man who sleeps around with a whole bunch of women, you are a male thought. See, let me tell you something. Men have no more right to be thoughts than women do. It's actually worse that men do it because God has a high expectation for men. Men are supposed to be the stronger ones. Men are supposed to be the logical ones, the reasonable ones, the prudent ones. But men are out here traipsing around, man, having more sex than women if they can. Why? It makes no sense, brothers. D. Fleming, appreciate the $2 super chat. D. Fleming say, man, got that sweatshirt, bro. Nice quality too. Thanks. Hey, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate all the brothers, man, who've been grabbing the sweatshirts, man. The Alphasphere sweatshirts, man, they jumping. They jumping. I got another design I'm gonna put together this week, man. A couple of my slogans, man. I'm gonna put them together this week, man. So y'all be looking for that, man. And if you're gonna order, man, just know that it's gonna take a few days longer for your order to get that because this is the holidays, man. But you know, if you order by the 15th, I can guarantee delivery by Christmas Eve. If you order by the 15th, if you order by the 15th, I can guarantee delivery by Christmas Eve. So men have no more right to be thoughts than women do. When you're a thought, then see, we can't say that there's an expectation for women to be that way, and then we're that way. We got to say there's an expectation for us to be women. We got to say that. That's how this goes. Another thing is this, brothers. If a woman doesn't value her body enough to protect it from overuse and abuse, she is not considering that loneliness is in her future. She is not considering that loneliness is certainly a part of her future. She might as well chalk it up to the game. Because it is a part of her future. Now, let me explain something to y'all. I'm not telling you that you can't meet a woman of any age, of any race, of any creed, of any color. I'm not telling you can't meet any woman, and just because she's not a virgin, you shouldn't have anything to do with it. I'm not telling you that. Because then you probably ain't be dealing with no women. What I am telling you is the only time that sex is amazing is when the first time with you is her first time. Other than that, it's just something you do to get a good feeling. You get a good feeling and you're done. And that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that being the case. But I'll tell you what we'll talk about tomorrow on the main channel. Got some great things to talk about, man, coming up. Now, let me ask y'all something, man. Right now, man, to everybody that's on Patreon, would you guys prefer MP3s over there, kind of like podcasts? Now, it'll still be long. The live streams will still be everything except the live stream. I mean, the short run content, the lower level alpha content. Would you guys prefer it in MP3 format, like a podcast, or do y'all want it in a video? I know the MP3 files are a little bit easier to handle, a little bit easier to download if you want to do that, and a little bit easier to open, a little bit everything. So if y'all prefer that, man, everybody that's a patron, if you would prefer that, or even if you plan on becoming a patron, if you prefer that MP3, which is much more convenient, you know what I'm saying? And I can really let loose on them MP3s because I don't have to funnel them through YouTube or another platform. I can upload them straight from my computer. So y'all let me know, man. You know, if that's what y'all want, man, then I'll go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and do that, man, because I just think, man, it's a much easier way to go, especially when you're mobile, man. You don't need to, you know, if you want to download it, man, you got a big ass app on your phone, and then, you know, so I'll push it like that, man. We'll try it like that. We'll try with MP3, man. See how that goes. As a matter of fact, man, I'll slide one over tomorrow. See, with that, I can drop an MP3. I can drop a podcast episode every day on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I could literally try, because I keep my recorder with me. I keep my mics and everything with me all the time. I ride around with my cameras and gear in the car with me, tripods, everything. You never know, man. Might want to set up somewhere and do a video. So another thing I'm about to start doing for y'all on Patreon, man, is doing on location videos. I know I said I do vlogs, but I'm only gonna do like 1 or 2 vlogs a week, but I'm gonna do on location videos. So, you know, I'll be opening up the cam and I'll be on different locations. I got some great shit coming for y'all. Just be patient with me, man. This whole YouTube thing kind of threw me off a little bit, man. Like I was about to just leave YouTube alone, man. Just go ahead and do my thing on Patreon. Then I thought about this channel. So I appreciate y'all input, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the support and everything, man. But I want y'all to remember that the sex is only amazing the first time. But then what? Then what? We got to keep in mind that the only valuable sex is sex that no man has had before. Everything else is just something to help you get off and relieve some tension. But no man should willingly wife up a woman who cannot say that you're my first one. That is not how God intended for it to be. Wives were intended to be virgins, but men were designed to be providers. In order to go get a man's virgin daughter and take off and have your way with a man, you had to prove to that man that you could sustain the lifestyle that he provides for her. So this whole thing about, you know, we talk about hypergamy and all that, that's not what it is. That's how women were raised. You can label it whatever you want to label it, but they're going to go where the money is, and you should be okay with that unless you ain't got no money. Only men who complain about women going where the money is, men who ain't got no money and feel like the beautiful women are going to never come their way. You see what I'm saying? That's the reality of it, man. So the sex is only amazing the first time. And wives were meant to be virgins. I appreciate y'all coming through, man. I don't want to make this thing too long, about 30 minutes, man. I'm kind of off the whole long live stream thing, 2 hours, man. I'm just really not into that right now, man, because you know, I got into doing it on my main channel, man, and you know, we had gotten pretty nice over there, man. So, you know, anyway, man, this is what we're gonna do here. This is the end of this one. I appreciate everybody coming through. My brother D Flemings, appreciate it, man. All the other brothers, man, Country Cuz, Son Low, G3, Primal. Appreciate all y'all being in the joint, man. It's been real in the field. I'm gonna leave this one up for a little while as well because we need to leave it up. So I appreciate y'all coming through, man. We're going to go ahead and slide on out of here, man. Just a quick live on a great topic that I think we need to discuss. And I'm going to holler at y'all in a little bit, man. By the way, man, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe to it, man. Share it. Let everybody know that this is where we'll be. And I appreciate y'all coming through, man. Peace.
It's the book of Alpharonomy, nigga. Read it or weep.